Hello and welcome to another video. You saw the title of this video and I know you're just as excited as I am, okay? Maybe I'm a little bit more excited than you, but I'm excited nevertheless, and I hope that you're excited for this one. First, we're gonna get into the first thing, and that's that the Lord surely is faithful. I have been playing around with how I want to deliver this to you all, and by the grace of God, I think I finally have come to a pretty good middle ground. And when I say middle ground, I mean for me and for you, okay? Privacy for me, and then some accountability for you, okay? Because a lot of y'all, you like to invade other people's privacy and then you don't want to be accountable for nothing. We're not going to do that. So without further ado, today we're talking about weight loss, and then some ways that we can both do this together, okay? And I'm talking to you specifically. Don't worry about how many other people watching. Don't worry about how many other people are joining us, okay? So without further ado, let's get into today's video. First, I have to say this is not medical advice at all. Now, I have to say that because, like, legally I have to say that because people be doing crazy stuff and I don't want to have any parts. However, just because it's not medical advice, that don't mean I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? And above me not knowing what I'm talking about, I know the great physician, okay? And you can get to know him too. So yeah, we're going to talk about a few things. This is not necessarily, a biblical fasting video, but I want to even thank you, Lord. Just tie right on this. Thank you, Lord. I want to bring you to, this is First Timothy, the 4th chapter in the 8th verse, and it tells us, for physical training is of some value, but godliness, spiritual training is value in everything and in every way, since it holds the promise of the present life and the life to come. So right there we see that physical training, to train this body that we're in does have some benefits. Is it everything? No. And this scripture right here specifically tells us it's not even the most important thing. So as we go into this conversation, please know my stance. My stance is your physical body is very, very small in the grand scheme of life, and you should not pay as much attention to it as you do to the other things. However, that doesn't mean that you should ignore it at all, okay? Because it is the temple that you have been given in to do this life. So there is, a bit of accountability that you need to have to how you treat it. And then I want to go with you again to 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter and the 27th verse. And this has become my favorite scripture, where Paul says, but like a boxer, I buffet my body. This text says, but one text says, I beat my body, handle it roughly, discipline it by hardships, and subdue it, for fear that after proclaiming to others the gospel and things pertaining to it, that I myself might be unfit to stand the test, but unapproved and rejected as a counterfeit. And I actually like the other version better. Hold on, let me bring it up, the other version. This is the amplified version. But like a boxer, I strictly discipline my body and I make it my slave, so that after I have preached the gospel to others, I myself might not somehow be disqualified or unfit for service. I love this because I think a lot of the times, like I say, you want to take all of the physical things that you have to do to really discipline your body. You guys know I have this thing, I guess this saying, if you will, it's called a sound mind and a body to follow suit. This is something that the Lord laid on my heart, very long ago, and I'm just kind of sharing it with you guys here in the recent year, I would say. But this is something that I have always put into practice, and it's very hard to explain. But if you know anything about boxers, if you know anything about how they train very strenuous, okay? And one example that I have for you is the military. And I know some of you are tired of me making this reference, but baby, it was a hard time, and I'm going to talk about it as much as I need to, okay? So I remember I was trying to put something together for you, right? And when I was writing it, when I was typing it out, the Lord really reminded me of how strict I was on my eating to train for basic training. Now, I was 10 to 15 pounds outside of the weight that I needed to be. We call it making weight. I was 10 to 15 pounds outside the weight that I need to be. But I knew that this was something that the Lord was calling me to do. So 10 to 15 pounds was standing in the way of what I saw to be a destination. Okay. Now, I wasn't privy to all the other information that was going to be revealed later on, because that's not how we do things. But 10 to 15 pounds, in my eyes, 10 to 15 pounds was standing in the way of me in the promised land. So I had to beat my body. Now, I was very familiar. I've had 3 children. Okay. So I was very familiar and am very familiar with disciplining your body, okay, to get a few things done. And I thought to myself, Tiffany, if you could do all that to join the military, how much more can you do for God? How much more can you do for God? And some of you, your body is running the show so much that you can't do anything for God because you haven't figured out a way to get that in check. This is what this video is about. But like I said, I believe it was tuna. I switched between tuna, eggs, apples, and a gallon of water, and I found some pickled onion relish at HEB, I think it was. And that's what I ate for a good 21 days. I ate it from the time I first checked in with my recruiter until I would check in and go and take my ass bath. And I kid you not, one of the days, on the last day, it was like the last 2 days. Okay. So the next day I was supposed to check in the hotel to go and like get my weight done and all this kind of stuff, like this big physical. If you watch the video here on my channel, you'll see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. But they had changed my dates around. So I thought, and I had been fasting, girl. It was like down to the wire. Okay. So, at the top of the 21 days, I got to be a little bit more flexible, but it was down to the wire. It was like make or break time. Okay. And like I said, I've had 3 kids. So, and I'm in age. Okay, so there's something, it's not as easy. It's not as easy. And I want to use that I want to be sensitive. Okay. It's not that it's not as easy. It's different than when I was, in my teenage years or even in my early 20s where, it just didn't have to work as hard. I'll say that. You just didn't have to work as hard, but you got to work. You got to be more mindful now. And so it was down to the wire, and I had taken all my measurements. Everything was looking good. Everything was right where it needed to be. And it was not the time to go, binging or eating stuff that I shouldn't be having. Whereas maybe earlier in the 21 days, I could have like chosen a day to have like a sweet treat or something like that. It wasn't the time for me to do that this time because it was down to the wire. Well, the day before I was supposed to go, they changed around my date. Well, so I thought they changed around my date. And I kid you not, I got off the phone with the recruiter and I just started to cry. I cried out to the Lord and I said, Lord, I am hungry. And I could just only imagine, I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all, but I could only imagine how Jesus felt after not eating for 40 days and the devil gonna sit up there and tempt him, talking about turn this stone to bread. I cried in that car and I said, Lord, I'm hungry. I just want to eat. And you might have been able to see that in one of the videos, actually, just a little bit of it. I didn't sit there and, pour out my heart on the camera, of course, but I was very much, it was less about them changing around my dates and more about the fact of I had my mind and my body kind of fixed to, I only got one more day left to have to eat like this. Okay, beating my body literally. And like I said, I thought to myself recently, if I could do all that for that, surely that I can do this for this purpose. And some of you, like I said, this is not about biblical fasting, but some of you, that mindset will help you even with fasting. Lord, if I can do all this for these people, why can I not set aside some meals for you? Why can I not set aside some food for you? Your belly is running the show, and this is not a good thing. For your body to be in control, for your feelings, for your emotions to be running your life is not a good thing. So I just want to start off by saying that I'm not coming to this from a place of like, oh, I've always been a fit fanny and no, girl. No, beat the body. Okay. Beat the body. I'm one of those people who will be Monday and I'll plan to go out to eat on Saturday or Sunday or something like that, and I will trim them calories all week long to eat good on Saturday and Sunday. I'm one of those people. Okay, so I definitely believe in extended fasting. I believe in all of that. I believe that your body should not be the one in control. And like I said, this is not medical advice, but I do know the great physician. All jokes aside, I have seen the Lord heal me. I've seen physical ailments being healed, and I've witnessed him healing other people. So I want you to keep that in mind. So let's move on to the next thing. So not so quick, we're gonna move. We like I said, we're gonna take our time, right? We're gonna take our time. I ain't gonna drop it all on you like that. Okay, so everything is gonna be self-paced. Like I said, I'm not gonna lay everything out here. I'm moving toward doing more PDF things, more things that you have to read, because I have found that people just want to sit down and watch videos like this. You want to hear a good story and you don't want to actually change anything, and I won't be a part of. Okay, that's not what we're doing. I'm not in this, like, I'm not gonna be giving you any links or anything like that. And if I do give you a link, there's no commission tied to it. I'm literally just giving you free information. I'm just trying to be helpful in a way that I would have wanted someone to be helpful to me. And I think it's important to put this here. Okay, I'm gonna put this here because that time is coming around again I remember one year I did like Christmas toy giveaway. Like, you know, like my family out of our coins bought some toys. Nobody gave anything. Like you know how people be doing like giveaways because they're sponsored and things like that. No, it was money out of our money. And I went and bought some toys, and it was like a little pro call. Like you had to do, you know, those instructions. You had to go on the thing, you had to click it, you had to fill it out. And then I was going to send the toys directly to you. Why did someone go on there and buy multiple toys with like a fake address? Just being ugly and hateful. So I'll do things like that. I used to do things like that. I don't do things like that anymore. I learned my lesson that you can't really be helpful in that way. I have this thing on the website that no one has signed up for, and it was like free, you know, like free giving money, try to help people who actually need money. Nobody has signed up for it. I'll do things like the reading book club, and then people sign up for it just with the intention of being nosy, or I don't know what your problem is, but let me tell you, it's weird. I want to tell you it's weird. And I also want to tell you that the Lord sees you. Okay, so whatever your intention is, know that the Lord sees you. Me, who doesn't have it, I'm not trying to gain anything from you. I'm not trying to get anything from you at all. Yet you decide that you want to be, you know, mean and hateful in this way. The Lord sees you. And just like he sees the effort that I put into every single thing that I put forth here for you, he sees what you're doing as well. I want to say that before we even go into this, before we get started, before you decide you want to join anything with me, just know that the Lord sees you. Yeah, he sees me too. He sees me too, and he sees you. So we won't be doing any of that. I'm definitely won't be doing any Christmas giveaways or any. I'm not doing no giveaways. Don't even worry about it. I'm not taking any sponsored stuff from nobody and then giving it away. I'm not doing any of that. I don't want any promotions. I don't want any sponsorships. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of it. Okay. And I feel like some of y'all want me to get on here selling you something. Like all the people who are selling you something, who like selling your lies and then selling your stuff, people are like all over it. But when someone's genuinely trying to like help a sister out, you know what I mean, literally a sister out, it's like no I no español. No, it's not Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. I don't even know what that means. No I like it's like no hit, nothing's happening. So you just, I don't know. I guess it's just laziness. It's a mixture of things, but I don't want to have any parts of it. That's another part of the housekeeping I want to do. I don't want to have any parts of it. If you don't want to join, don't join. And as you see the things laid out on the website, as we talk about some of these things, know that they'll all be self-paced. And the things that are not self-paced necessarily, they're very like, it'll seem like just me and you are doing it. I do that intentionally because a lot of people, you're joining stuff, you're doing stuff because you want to be seen. And I don't want that for you, girl. I do not want that for you. And I don't want it for me. Notice there's no comments here. You know why? Because there's nothing to say. Like it, take it, or don't. Move on. Okay, we don't need to have this kind of constant feedback and things like that. You know, I have an email address. I take reasonable emails, but some of you, I'm not looking to get advice, and I'm not looking for none of that. I'm not looking for, you know, best friendships or none of that. I'm not looking for none of that. I'm looking for a well done, thy good and faithful servant. That's really what I want. And I'm looking to help some other people get to that place as well. This is what I'm trying to do. Okay. So all the other stuff aside, but I do realize that community, especially when you talk about losing weight and things like that, especially among women, because there's just so much there, if you know what I mean. It's nice to have a community. It's nice to have a place where you can check in and like, girl, I didn't make it to 10,000 steps today. I only had 2 in me. Okay, I had to work late, and I actually had to jog in place at home, and I can only get to 10,000. Like, it's nice to have that sort of community. It's very hard to build because of the lay of the land. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I'm trying my best. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up because the Lord hasn't told me to give up. So I wanted to say that as well. Now let's get started. First thing I'll have you do, this will be in the PDF as well. Like I said, I'm just kind of going to briefly outline things here. Anything that I forget, you'll find it in the PDF, and you'll find the directions on how to access that PDF down in the descriptions for the reason that I just listed. Okay. So moving is important. That's not something that we have to continue to fuss about. Moving is important. I like the Nike Run Club app because you can do like challenges. You can keep up with your workouts, and then you can learn new workouts. So you can learn how to run if that's something that you're interested in. It just helps you. It's like a coach. Sometimes you can put like the coach on, and it will kind of just help push you to the next thing. Like, I'm not trying to be funny at all, but why are we still walking a half a mile talking about we didn't work out? You know what I mean? Like, nothing wrong with your leg. You talking about half a mile and then turn around and eat a whole cake. No. So sometimes we need a little extra help. We need an extra push. And I found that the Nike Run Club app, most of the things on there are free, right? I think the whole thing is free. I have never paid for anything on it, and I'm not paying for anything on it, but I think there's always a paid version. Okay. But the version I have is free, and they have a lot of workouts on there where you can grow. There's other apps, but Nike Run Club app is the one that we're going to be using. So be prepared to download it. The next thing is food. So fasting. I love fasting. I love restrictive eating. I love using food to gain some self-control because of the things that I mentioned before. Like, I like to beat my body like a boxer. Say you are not the one in control here. Okay. And that's not to say, Thanksgiving is coming up and all that kind of stuff. I know some people, eat these food, you do all those things. Okay. We'll have our family, holiday video soon. It's okay. I repost the same one from last year. But I know some people love this time of gathering. And if you're going to do all that, plan to do all of it. Don't just be eating like that all day long and all week long. It's not the thing that we should do. So again, I say this is not biblical fasting. This is not biblical fasting, though you can meld the two of those together. So I would highly suggest you don't think for a second. When you're out there doing them walks, have some worship music. It's a great time to worship. It's a great time to pray. When you get this new energy, okay, because you've changed your eating habits, you start to move more, you start to get more disciplined, you feel more in control of your body. You are telling your body how this show is going to be run. Once you feel that, use that extra time that you being woken up early in the morning, use it to pray. Use it to pray, use it to worship, use it to praise. I'm giving you hints here. I ain't telling you all my business, I'm giving you some hints. How you think I know? So yes, absolutely. I believe that you should meld the two of those together. However, we're talking strictly here about like weight. Okay. Like, don't get it twisted. We're talking about overall health. Okay. But absolutely, I would highly suggest pushing the two of those together. Okay. Work it out. You can do it. Work it out. You don't need me to tell you. Work it out. Another thing, I'm being sensitive here. I understand that there is a group of people who have disordered eating, and you might have disordered eating disorders. And I'm just using this term because this is a term that will help you to understand. Anytime there is a disorder, something is out of order and it needs to be checked. And God brings order to everything. So I'm giving you a hint there how you can get out of these eating disorders, but I'm not being insensitive to the fact that some people have eating disorders. This is something you bring this weakness. Don't look for me to do it in that PDF or anything else. Bring that weakness to God, but don't make excuses. I see excuses. I literally ran into a woman probably 8 years ago at this point who told me she couldn't fast because fasting made her issue worse. What kind of lie is that? Fasting is literally the mechanism that the Lord has created our bodies to heal itself. So some wicked trick has been played on you. You've been bewitched into thinking that this issue is a real issue. And I saw that lady maybe like 6 years later, and she had at least gained 100 pounds. And I'm not trying to be funny here. I'm just saying some of the things that you have in, I can't eat that. I can't eat 3 boiled eggs because that just upsets my stomach. Upset my stomach too. I can't drink water that much with my meals because just all these excuses. If you one of those people who have all those excuses, I'm telling you right now, don't even click on the PDF, girl. You're going to be mad. Don't follow me and do nothing because you're going to be mad. Okay. Because you think for a second, I remember, what was I drinking? I was drinking for my lunch. I would have almond and, what do you call it? It's over there. Hold on. Let me get it. So I'm not even tell a lie. This right here. You see this? You think this is good? No, it's not good. This is not good. This is the low sodium one, which, I mean, whatever. I just picked it up because it was a low sodium one. But there's the regular one. This is not good. This tastes like tomato juice. I know they say they have celery and carrots and beets, which I love all of those things. I even like tomatoes. This tastes like tomato juice. However, I told myself for your lunch, this is what you're having. You're having this and almonds and nothing else. You're not going to run down there to Zaxby's like everybody else. You're not going to go over there to Starbucks like everybody else. This is what you are having. And I needed it in that environment. Let me tell you, I needed it. And some of you need to stop eating all them heavy meals with your coworkers and get some discipline. Okay. because it's a part of your problem. So I'm sorry. I don't know why that was funny. I'm sorry. But yeah, no excuses. Okay, leave those excuses behind and break free from those excuses. I know this is also kind of like this is a disorder too, avoiding the scale. How are we supposed to know what's going on here? Avoiding the scale, and not just the scale, any means of measurement, avoiding them all. When you go to the doctor, do they avoid the scale? And then you get shocked, depressed, and sad, and all the above. Instead of dealing with that in the privacy of your own home, you want to wait and have somebody else deal with it for you, because you say things like, I don't need to weigh myself. I'm not going to weigh myself. I'm not going to stress myself out like that. And then you're 50 pounds heavier and you wonder what happened. So I'm not saying to to become a tool, but use measuring tools as a tool. Now, especially Black women, women of color, thicker women, okay, you need to learn what tools you need to use. We all know, and if you don't know this by now, I need you to do a little bit more research, okay? The whole BMI system was created very much so for European, a white, okay, a Caucasian body. Very much different than, someone with a 45, 45 around the bum and the thighs, and 26 around the waist. This kind of thing. Like, I want you to use wisdom here. If there is no visceral fat is the fat that is around the waist, and there's very little, and you have big thighs, do you think that you have a problem? You do not have a problem. Okay, the problem is with the system that says that you have a problem, that you have to be in a certain way. So thicker women, especially, I'm talking about women of color, so I'm not about to say now, you might be thicker and you might not be a woman of color, but you know exactly what I'm saying. Women of color tend to be thicker, and we tend to be dealt with very harshly when it comes to weighing ourselves and things like that. But you need to know what is a normal weight for you. Okay, you need to know what that looks like. So you don't sit here and just, don't be delusional. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't be delusional. Don't be delusional. Use the tools. Even if you do have a scale, weigh yourself and know what your healthy weight is. I'm not telling you the doctor said you need to lose 20 pounds. I've had a doctor tell me that, you need to lose about 5 pounds. You do need to lose a little weight. And I looked at him, a white man. I looked at him and I looked at that pot belly and I said, I didn't say anything to him. I said, to myself. Okay, so just use wisdom here. I'm not telling you to, lipo your thighs, resent your thighs. Those thighs, that extra meat that you have, is what helped your ancestors survive slavery. That extra meat that you have is what helped your ancestors in hunting and when famine came. Okay, you get to know, you know what? Perfect place to insert. I did PDF as well called Who Am I? And it's linked for you in the community tab. Go and look at it, especially if you're a woman of color. You're having a hard time with the very essence of your blackness. Okay, you're gonna have to get to the root of that. And I didn't put that together. I don't believe the Lord gave me all of that wisdom to put together to ostracize people. But there is very much a group of people, Black people, who don't know who they are, and it's causing a lot of problems. Okay, so I know that wasn't a part of this, but go and check that out too. So don't be silly here. Learn your body and stop making excuses. Let's move on to the next thing. Lay aside the aesthetics. At no point in time, there's anybody who's going to be doing any challenge or in any kind of group with me. If at any time I see a picture of you that is inappropriate, you will be blocked and deleted. I don't have time for that. And you won't see any inappropriate pictures of me. Okay. I have even refrained from showing you workouts, like certain workouts that I'll do. I'll just type it out. You can go ahead and Google it. If I can find an appropriate picture with a young lady dressed appropriately, then I'll put that on. But I'm telling you, don't post nothing. We want to see the stats. We want to see, the mileage. Girl, if you got a new pair of running shoes or something like that, and they feel good on your feet, and you want to help us out with our corns and bunions, share it with us that, okay? But we don't want to see you. We don't want to see your tail. We don't want to see anything like that. You're going to have to put aside these aesthetics. And if you do not put them aside, I'm telling you, you won't get anywhere. You'll only be doing this. You'll only do this. You'll only get yourself in line on a surface level to look good to other people, and you'll never get down to the root of the issues. You'll never have a sound mind and a body to follow suit as long as you keep it all about what does it look like. It's nothing about what it looks like. What it looks like literally doesn't matter. And with that being said, I won't be with you going on walks and stuff like that. Don't go out there dressed any kind of way. Don't go out there dressed any kind. People crazy. People are crazy, and people are looking for, the fool who is out here dressed half naked and then don't want nobody to snatch him up. Okay, so put some clothes on. If you need to go and buy a big pair of jogging pants just to do your walks and stuff in, go and do that. But let's put aside the aesthetics, put aside, girl, all those little plastic surgery groups and all that kind of stuff you're a part of. Put all that stuff to the side. All the the payments that you have saved up for when you're gonna get your tummy tuck. Put all that stuff aside. Even those little waist trainers and all that kind of stuff. Put all that stuff aside. All those things are based on aesthetics and has nothing to do with your overall health. And if you're honest with yourself, you know this. You realize this. You realize that you're just trying to look good for other people. It has nothing to do with your well-being. You are jacked up and you got the nerve to wonder how you look. That's crazy. And I won't have any parts in that foolishness. So like I said, I'm putting it here. I think I'm going to open up the Band app. I don't know. We'll just have to see. You'll have to see once you click on the PDF. Like I said, I'm not going to give too much information here because I want it to be more of a of a private matter. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not doing this for myself to be seen or for other people to look at you. We don't want to see you. We don't want to see you, and I don't want you to see me like that. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. I brought a few extra things in here that I want to talk about. Oh, excuse me, girl, that thing was heavy. I brought a few extra things in here that I want to talk about just because I want to keep all this in one place, and some things might be harder to explain typing out, and I don't want to have to do this again. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the food diary. Okay, so I like to keep a food diary that is digital and then not digital. Like I said, these are very objective notes. I ate this today. Sometimes I even put, I wanted to eat this today, but I ate this instead. Okay, I like to keep track of these things. As you go, you'll get to learn yourself. That's the most important thing here. Okay, learn yourself, learn your habits, and learn your triggers so that you can get rid of those triggers. We don't want you walking around through life triggered. Also, I do things in this book like track my weight and track how long I fasted or anything like that. Okay, so I got this one from Ross. It was cheap, girls, like $3.99 or something like that. And isn't it so cute? Let me show you a blank one. Isn't that cute? It's like a little what do you call it? Tab, divider. There you go. It's like a little divider. That's cute. So you can just write stuff in there. That's what this is. And while we're talking about diaries, one of the things that we'll be using is Lose It. Now you can download Lose It for free. I have downloaded Lose It for free, or you can do the paid version of Lose It. As of right now, the paid version of Lose It is 70% off. It's $11.99 for the entire year. That's a steal. If you've ever did the Weight Watchers app before, that's how I found Lose It a long time ago. It's not like something that I have to use, okay? But it is a nice tool, especially if you're in the process of like, girl, you eating too much and you know it. You need to have some sort of self-control and you know it. These apps like this will help you out, help you keep track of your fasting times and things of that nature. So I would highly suggest it, and it is going to be one of the tools that we're going to be using. Okay. You can also like keep track of your weight and stuff like that there. Another thing is exercise tools. So I mentioned earlier in the video that what if you had to work late, or the weather did not permit, or you don't have access to a gym or anything like that, and you couldn't get your steps in. The other day, I didn't record it because why I need to record it? I'm about to sit here and tell you. It's the truth, girl. It's the truth. I did a run in place workout right here at home. Running plays, walking plays, dancing plays, the little step aerobics thing, girl, that thing will get you together. Okay, because my legs was hurting more than doing a 2-mile walk or run. That step aerobics thing is I like it. It wasn't too expensive. I think I got that one from Target for like $20 or something like that. I like to have at home workout things because you never know when you can't access the things outside. So yeah, like you can't, you don't have, access to the gym. I definitely wrestle with myself about getting a gym membership, but I have enough stuff at home between going outside, like to take a walk, a run, to rollerblade and things like that. I'm not telling you to rush out and buy anything. If you got to use soda cans, okay, because you know you've been drinking them sodas, okay, if you got to use canned foods, whatever you have to, if you just have to use your body weight, you can do that. Like, it doesn't have to be, you need to learn. When you see the exercises that I'm going to do, that I'll have like in the PDF for the week or whatever, or however we're going to do it, don't feel so constricted to, I have to do this. You need to be able to, I'm not telling you to have excuses. You need to be able to make it fit what you have, okay, and what you can do. Because if you've been sitting on the couch for the last 10 years, what you can do what you can do is what you can do. Okay, so here, this dumbbell, I think this came from Walmart. Okay, these are 8 pounds. I don't be trying to lift all them heavy weights no more. I'm more into, you know, just not lifting those heavy weights like that. This is a medicine ball I've had for quite some time, and I got it from Raw. So things like this, you can do so many workouts with just these little bitty tools. You're definitely going to see workouts with these, because if I don't do anything else, literally if I don't do another workout, I'll do a resistance band workout. Again, I'm not going to show you me working out because that's not what we're doing. But this is, I think this is medium. Yes, this is, does it say? These, I think these are medium. So the little resistance band like this, my little 4-1 pot, and they don't sell it anymore apparently. So I have this. Yes, it is medium. It says there. Has medium, and then there is, this one says heavy, and you can like click them all together on there. So again, these you can do, you know, upper and lower body workouts with those. This one is of the same. You can find this at Walmart as well. You can find both of those at Walmart. That's where I got them from. I can't hold it up entirely, but it's much of the same. It's a resistance band, good for core workouts. And then this little guy, I think this comes in a pack of 2. Also comes from Walmart. The little thing you put on your legs and you do squats with. You can do lunges with them. I love these as well. That's really the gist of the home workout stuff that I have. I have more stuff of the same, just like this. But any workout that I will like tell you to do, or like say that I'm doing, because I'm not telling you to do anything, okay? I'm just kind of, like I said, creating community for us to be able to do this together. So the step aerobics thing, all the things that I just mentioned are things that I have and that you'll probably see use. So if you want to do this with me, you might have to just like, you know, invest in some of those things in your own time. Like I said, if you don't have it, like, girl, here's the toilet paper thing right here. Here's a toilet paper thing right here. You can step up on it. And I ain't saying you step up on it and then, you know, break your roll, but you know what I mean? Like you could put the leg up, you could pretend step on it. You can make do, okay? Be creative here and make do with what you have. I'm not telling you by any means to go out and purchase anything. Like I said, the Nike Run Club app and definitely the Band app is free. For you to join in on me, but you're gonna have to have like a QR code, but we'll get to that. We'll get to all of that. And the Lose It app is free. So all the apps are free, okay? Everything is free. And it's free. I don't know, you want me to sell you something, huh? But I don't have nothing to sell you. I'm sorry. I don't have any weight loss potions. I don't have any, girl, I ain't got no waist beads. Praise God. Thank you for deliverance. I don't have nothing. I don't have no waist trainers. I don't have nothing to sell you. I don't have anything to sell you. Only thing I'm trying to give you is an opportunity to join community. So, girl, we already rolling. I definitely will have this all up and ready by the time you see this video. Okay, so join me because today's Friday. I hope it's Friday when you see this video. I think it's gonna be Friday, but today is Friday, so definitely by Monday, get yourself together, okay, girl? Because that's when it's gonna start. I don't want you to be behind. I do not want you to be behind. I want you to be on top, okay? I want you to be not on top. I want you to be with us. That's all, okay? So as always, if you have a question, ask a question. God bless you. May the peace of God be with you, and I'll see you in the next video. And I hope to see you on the Band app. And girl, moving and getting yourself together. I hope to see you there too. So bye until next time.